Hello, young heroes. You probably remember me as the old guy from Marvel movies. And you'd be right. You'd also be right to know me as Stan Lee, the father of Marvel. I hear that some of you want to know how I came to be the old fart I am today. And here I am, back from the grave to tell you straight from the source. When telling a story, I think it's best to start from the beginning. I was born in New York City in 1922. My family owned a small business called Timely Comics. When I was a teenager, I had to take numerous jobs to help support my parents, since this was during the Great Depression. This tough time was also the reason why I wanted to escape reality through movies and books. When I graduated high school at the age of 16, I got a job as an editorial assistant for Timely Comics. And in 1942, I was promoted to editor. What a great day for old Stan, eh? And around this time, I also served in World War II, not as a soldier like Captain America, but as a wire repairman for the U.S. Army Signal Corps. And soon I was transferred to the training video division to make videos and training manuals for the troops. And that's when my talent for writing was first discovered. Then back home, I made several comic strips for Timely Comics after changing my name from Stanley Martin Lieber to Stan Lee. Then in 1952, I made several comic book superheroes like The Witness, The Destroyer, Jack Frost, Whizzer, and Black Marvel. But you must be more interested in knowing how I created my really popular heroes. In the early 1960s, me and my artist buddy Jack Kirby created, what was that again? Oh yeah, that's right! We made the Fantastic Four. Very proud of the new movie that came out this year, by the way. Then me and my other artist buddy Steve Ditko created Spider-Man. We made that crazy kid when I saw a fly on the wall and thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool if a person could do that? We made the character as a spider-themed teenage superhero with personal problems. And that was just for fun between you and me. And when I took it to my publisher, he was like, Stan, that is the worst idea I have ever heard. Just to get it out of my system, I put Spider-Man in Amazing Fantasy, and it was a huge hit. Then my publisher called me a couple weeks later and was like, Stan, remember that character, Spider-Man, that you and I love so much? Why don't you do a series? Just goes to show that if you have an idea that you genuinely think is good, don't let some idiot talk you out of it. Now, that doesn't mean that every wild notion you come up with is going to be genius, but if there is something that you want to do, something that means something to you, try to do it. Because I think that you can only do your best work if you're doing what you want to do, and if you're doing it the way you think it should be done, and if you can take pride in it after you've done it, no matter what it is, you can look at it and say, hey, I did that, and I think it's pretty damn good. And so, before Marvel was even Marvel Comics, and it was known as Atlas Comics, and before that, then it was Timely Comics. And around the time when it was Atlas, it struggled financially, and that's when I created my superheroes that only the 50s and 40s kids would know. Good times. I'm now open to any questions, if any have any. Yes.
What do you think of the current era that Marvel is in? Do you think they're heading in a good direction, or do you think they're heading in a bad direction? Seeing how some of their last films have pretty much been a flop.
That is a good question. I like to think that when the world lost me, Marvel kind of lost their way. But personally, I want to be open-minded to new ideas, so even if they may be a flop, sometimes if it's a flop, that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. like I said, if you have an idea that you genuinely think is good, then don't let some idiot talk you out of it. Yes, you.
You're all so special. Okay, how would you, well, it's not recently posed in the MCU universe that she's dead. But if you could, how would you incorporate the Scarlet Witch into the next Avengers movie that's gonna come out, I think, next year?
Let's see. I would think that following Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, I would try to give her a redemption arc. Really attempt to put her powers to good use, helping people while still maintaining the memory of her sons. Yes, you.
So think about all your cameos inside of Marvel projects, outside of Marvel projects, video games, whatever. Your all-time favorite projects you've written.
My favorite project, I'd say the Fantastic Four movie from 2005. That way I got to play an actual character, and it wasn't just a cameo, like any cameo. Yes, you in the back.
Yeah, are there any characters or like superheroes that you've made for the comic books that have kind of fallen into obscurity that you think deserve more attention?
No, like I said, I enjoyed making those classic superheroes for the 40s and 50s, but I'd say everything turned out for the best, although I would find it quite nostalgic to reintroduce those heroes in their own new movie as a nod to the 40s and 50s. Yes, you, up front.
How fun was it creating Venom? Because I heard that like it was a fan that came up with the idea, and then you kind of went with it for a comic.
Oh yeah, that was actually a very unique idea from a fan, and I really liked it. It was really inspiring. See that I became an inspiration to the next generation of readers, and he really wanted me to put in his comic, and I figured he seems like a good kid. Why not put him in my comic?
We have time for one last question they have over here.
Yep, you.
So you mostly spoke of Spider-Man. Is there any other superhero that you created that you hold near and dear to your heart?
Yes, I would say Captain America because, like I said, I served in World War II, not as a soldier like him, but I like to think that Captain America is exactly how I could have been if I participated in the war. The super soldier and whatnot. Yeah.
Okay, that's about all we have time for.
Thank you. Thank you.